Wescam Lighting Communities in Burlington and Goggles, Ontario, held through Wescam as the location for our newest season, Wescam Survivor. For years, Wescam has been known as a world leader in stabilized imaging and sensor platforms. Now, as competition heats up, Wescam must find ways to quickly solve problems. One team of over 800 employees armed with 21 mini demand training sessions, facing off against hundreds of obstacles, all competing for the title of Sole Survivor Wescam.
So at Wescam, we design and build incredibly complex and sophisticated products. We're in an absolute foot race to deliver new products and get existing products out the door faster. And with literally thousands of potential failure modes, it became clear that we had to find ways to push the problem solving to the shop floor where the problems exist.
So in keeping with today's Survivor theme, are you ready to get to today's reward challenge? Today's challenge is a food reward. Up for grabs are some chocolates for your table. To complete the challenge and win reward, one member of your table must complete the following instruction. Is that worth playing for? On my signal, in keeping with our 5Y theme for our presentation, I'm looking for the first person to hold up a nickel. Survivors ready? Go! Who has a nickel? Sarah is now going to deliver the chocolate to the winning team. So the winning team has gone back to their tribe to enjoy the reward, while the rest of us will continue learning about mini DMAIA.
Okay, first question I always ask, okay, what's the difference between mini DMAIA and regular DMAIA? Like if you cut out some of the letters or something? No, we're keeping with the basic principles, but what we're really doing is we're trying to demystify it. We're trying to take DMAIA down to the shop floor level. It's kind of like the joke, well, what does a finance person, an HR person, and an ops person have in common? Well, sorry to disappoint, not a great punchline. We all have problems and we all want to get to them and solve them better. So, what we did was we took DMAIA and said, let's demystify it, let's bring it down, let's focus on 3 key elements. The first off is really the problem definition. If you don't have a great problem definition, you're going to solve who knows what. So, key, very important. Second one was basic analysis tools. Fishbone and 5Y. We wanted people to get comfortable with the tools so that they can apply them in a variety of situations, including anywhere within the organization, even though our main focus was ops to start. And action. All that analysis and thinking about the problem is great and understanding, but if you're not taking action and getting to that resolution, you're not going to get too far. So that was very important. And the most important thing was really make it simplified, make it accessible so that anyone can do it, and anyone can be called upon to be pulled into a problem-solving, team problem-solving exercise. Our key objectives. Yes. Okay, so first off, it was a strategic goal to mature the shop for our team. I'll get back to that in a minute, but it's basically a development of all of our people in terms of problem solving. What did DMAIA deliver? Well, it gave us a structured framework for problem solving, so there were the tools. Second, we really talked about sphere of control. Take action on the things that you have influence over. That was a key message in our training and rollout. And well, finally, common language and approach. I talked about that accessibility and anyone can do it. Well, this is the thing where we want everybody speaking the same language, knowing what the expectations are in team problem solving so that they can hit the ground running and be productive and contribute towards those solutions. So it's really all about the maturation, owning the problem, knowing I'm not going to dump it off on somebody else or the specialized engineers or whatever else problem solving to take care of my issues. They're mine and we're going to solve them. Okay, so how did we do it? Well, what we did was we really leveraged on our organizational depth. We developed an in-house, hands-on short training session. And short, I'm talking 2 hours beginning to end. Really focus on those key points that I mentioned previously. We had a team of 9 black belt trainers, all of us were on that team, and we chunked down operations into 21 cells. So we had a very low sort of student to instructor 1-to-1 ratio. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity to answer questions, develop that rapport, and really get that message across to the front of the folks. So this is what our training session looked like. Highly interactive. We would have instruction, and then we would have, okay, put it into practice. So 2 things that we really worked hard on, making it that experiential learning, that learn by doing, using the tools, but also tailoring each session to use specific problems from each area. So it was a fair amount of homework to do this. So we tailored each session using sample problems from that specific area. So they already had background and they could hit the ground running and really focus on using the tools on real stuff. Follow-ups, keys to success. We really standardized, made sure that all the teams have the same templates. So fishbowl, 5Y, all the tools. We assigned green belt coaches. So we can't just turn these people loose and have them do the fishbowl and use the tools. So they had green belt coaches to answer questions, help facilitate their sessions. We also found that even among our green belt coaches, we had some unevenness. So we had to get everybody up to the same level. We also wanted to share best practices and leverage from that as well. So as each team did fishbowl, we would take those as examples and show them to all the other green belts so that they're all being able to effectively facilitate the same level. Gamble walks, the black belt trainer team would actually come out onto the floor on a regular basis to make sure that if things are happening, we give it that visibility and promotion, and we see if they're lacking on anything or if there's just more instruction. And what we would do was actually take that feedback and build it back into the training sessions. So steadily it would be improving.
We're at that point in our show now. It's time for the immunity challenge. Are you ready to get to it? Up for grabs is immunity. To complete the challenge and win the all-important immunity, you must complete the following instruction correctly. On my signal, I'm looking for the first person to shout out one of the 6 fishbone categories that starts with the letter M. Survivors ready? Go! We're going to go over here.
Nothing? Okay.
Sarah's going to deliver your immunity idol. Now that we have the results of the immunity challenge, let's listen to the results of Mini DeMeo.
Okay, thanks, Beth. Okay, so our initial measure of success was how well was the training received, what was our feedback. So what we found was on scoring, on the information delivered, or knowledge of the DeMeo process and the tools, we had over 100% increase, more like 140% increase before and after the session. So a lot of lessons learned in there in terms of people really understood the tools afterwards. The other thing was we said, well, how do people like the session? We got an extremely positive feedback on that, and a lot of it was really for 2 reasons. The same messages kept coming back and back. They loved the learn by doing, they loved the experiential learning, and they also loved the relevant problems. So it wasn't a pizza delivery problem or things, it was specific from their areas, things that they know or they're having issues with. So what else happened? Every team that we coached, maybe it was a honeymoon phase, but every team that we coached did the mix. We got them going. We had that green belt support going and follow-ups. So this is just a quick sample of one of the earlier ones. So they would get more progressively more complicated. And what we also found was we had lessons learned as well as we rolled this out. What we found was in our initial approach, we had an activity metric. So we want to see 1 problem per cell per week, and we drove that activity. We had all the support from the senior management team, the supervisor team, so that was happening. What we found was when we focused on the activity metric, teams were scheduling time to do problem solving. And they had fishbowl Fridays in one area, things like that going on. So what we found was that wasn't as effective as we saw, as we wanted to see in the problem solving. Why is that? Because if they were scheduling once a week, they would either bank up the problem, so we kind of sit until they're doing it, or they've already done something to get through it when it was hot, and then they would take another look at it at the problem-solving session. So in both cases, they would not come up with really good, innovative, or effective solutions. It would either be a rehash of what they've already done, or it would be something that, well, you know what, it's not really all that keen because it could wait for a week until we got to it. So there was not a great follow-through on the actions in those cases. So lessons learned. Okay, so what did we do? We improved the approach and we said, you know what? This is not just a process improvement, this is a cultural change. So So you really want to drive it that when they're seeing the problems, when it's hot, hit it with the debate tools, so the mini debate tools. And what we found was when we switched that, our activity went down a bit, but our effectiveness came up a lot better. And we started really affecting the culture. So let's hear from our own technicians in their own words how effective that cultural change is.
And it's still there. Still going on. So it's been quite a bit of saving. That's one of the ways to get rid of the problems. Maybe not in 2 weeks.
Well, it's really helpful because first of all, it makes you stop and think about the problem, and it takes you through the stages. And of course, there are more people around, and everybody puts their own input, so then it's easier to come up with ideas, right? So if we come up with a solution and we figure out why that happened, we can prevent it from happening.
It's very friendly, useful, very practical. Need to identify it, just going to right.
So using the 5Y dynamics helped us find different solutions for our problems.
It's really part of the culture on the shop floor where the supervisor will take the action of arranging a group of folks to come together, collaborate, and solve the problem as a team. So from the shop floor technician, the quality, the manufacturing engineering, and many times I attend to listen and to see where they're directing their taking. So I'm really proud of that. The teams that have really come together.
Okay, we've done the training. Now it's time for the tribal council vote. I'll read the votes. After the votes have been read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I have the votes. It's official. It's unanimous. Problem, you are voted off the island. Please bring me your torch. The Wescam tribe has spoken.